simple. Now, yes, it keeps on adding. Okay, so if the data keeps on adding, how can we even see? Look, that is just one of the view directive. Okay, but let's go complete to see some of the things you can do about the view directive. Okay, so a view directive can have dynamic argument. Okay, when it comes to dynamic argument, for instance, you have the v hyphen on, okay, and then the on is the argument, and therefore you can have dynamic property, an array, or you can have a dynamic. You can make it dynamic in such a way that programmatically you can attach on based on certain condition. But that isn't what we're going to do. We're not going to go inside. We're not going to make it go. We're not going to do that right now. We're not going to do that right now. Okay, and we also have modifiers. Okay, these directives they have modifiers. These are special postfixes denoted by a dot. Okay, which indicate that a directive should be bound in some special way. For example, you can have the dot prevent modifier to tell the v on directive to call e dot prevent default. And so this add, okay, let's say that the button is within a form. You don't want the form to be submitted. Okay, so if you click, the button will submit, and if the button submit, the page will refresh. You don't want the page to be refreshed. What you can do is add dot prevent. And when you do this, it is the same as writing event, like it's the same as writing something like event or dot prevent default. Okay, you know what I'm talking about if you've been doing some of these things in your JavaScript. So it's the same as this. So you don't have to type all of these things. Okay, so what is going to happen is it will prevent the button from submit, but then you will still get a click event. So let's see what is going to happen if we continue clicking on our button, and then we still have our data here. Okay, yeah, 28, 29, and all that. Yes, so that's what is happening. Okay, so that is what a modifier is. A modifier is if you have your test, and then don't worry, when we're going to bind the data in a control to an attribute or a data, what we can do is to use .trim so that don't worry, some of these things you won't start typing it, you just enjoy it. You just enjoy it. So that is what a modifier is. That is what a modifier is. Okay, that's what a modifier is. So now what I want us to do is when we add, we need to be able to show the task that we are adding over here. Okay, so how do we do that? Then we move on to another view directive called the for, the v4, which is good. Okay, very, very good. And so here we have a number, text, and all that. And so this is what how the v4 works. Okay, based on the element that you want to loop or repeat several times, you have to put the v on that tag. And so here, what we want to do is to repeat this tr, which is going to contain the table row. The table row is going to contain the table data according to the data that we will have within the array data called tasks. And so that's how we're going to go about it. We say that, okay, so fine, we know the structure. So we say for v-4. That is just it. Press enter. Okay, so for, let's just say tasks. Okay, you can say item in tasks, and then the reason why it is underlined is because it is waiting for a key. Because you are looping, it needs a key to bind, and usually, okay, see what is going to happen. Item, the item, I'm using the whole item as a key. The key identifies the table row, and so every table row is supposed to have a unique key, and that unique key identify that table row, and you can use it to do a whole lot of things. So more like an ID, but it is not an ID, but here it is what key. And so this is not what we're going to give it. We can't give a whole array or object this time around to be an item in task. Okay, and so if you wanted to have, let's say, the item that we're going to add, it should probably have an ID, which we didn't add. And so the ID is going to be something like this. So this dot task dot ID equals to, I just wanted to start from 1, 0, and then and 1, 2, 3, that incrementally. That's the idea I wanted to have. So first of all, you can have item.id. How should I go about it? An item here represents one data or one item in the array. Okay, so we are looping and saying for item in task. In other way, I could make it sound more nicer by saying for task, oh, for task in tasks. But here I can't because, okay, fine. I think I can use this one. Task. Good. So when I do this, okay, what I'm trying to say is I'm calling this as an item in the task. So anytime it's going to loop, this will represent that current task which has been selected, that current item which has been selected from the task when you load in. So if you have 20 elements, it will start with the 0 element, move on to the index 1, index 2, and each index that it moves on to, the task will represent that one. And so this is how we're going to go about it. So, good. In Vue, there is in Vue, when you want to write an expression, okay, you use the curly braces. Okay, there's it. This is an expression. Same for Laravel, PHP, and other Vue, other JS templating engines. They use this directive, and so we can also, it is used in Vue too. And so you can go about and say task.id. This task is not representing the task here. It is just a variable, local variable that has been created within the for loop. That is why I said all the Vue directives will accept only one argument, except that of v4 because it can accept multiple. And even sometimes if you want to have access to an index, the index of the array, you can just open it like this and then command add I, and then I becomes the index, and therefore you can even put the I here instead of task.id. So in cases where you don't have an ID as part of your object, then you can introduce this I and you put the I there, which is going to be the index of the array, and then you're going to, still act as a key for your v loop. So by now you know how we're going to go about number tasks and status. So this will be task.title, okay, and then whether it's completed. Good. That's getting interesting. So here we can bind the class. There's so many ways we can do this. They're all very simple. You see, let me use this opportunity to introduce the V and then the VLs. Okay, so I'll copy this and paste, and if it's successful, if it is not completed, I'll just use info, okay, and then say pending because it's not completed, and say pending activity. So this is what we want to do based on the it's completed attribute. We can switch between this and that, and this is how we're going to do. I'm going to introduce the VF, so v hyphen if, which is okay, and I can say task dot is completed, okay, and then if I want, I can type VF again and say task is not completed. This is how I'll do it, like this. Not is completed. I don't want to do it like this, but then there is another V directive that I can use. V else, which works. This V else is always looking for an if, okay, immediate if. So if the tag that precedes this tag doesn't have VF, then it's going to be an error. And so you need to take note of that. And so that is the VF, which is nice. And let's see what is going to happen. Okay, I'm sure you're just eager to see what is going to happen. Let me save so that we can check, and if you have any error, you can quickly correct it. So we'll go back here. You see nothing. See, there's nothing here. So all you can do is just click add, and then the first one comes in. Beautiful. You click on add. You have task 2. You click on add. Oh, 3. Oh, yeah, I understand.